And this is the Focuway Odd Box, which can potentially add navigation to pretty much any vehicle via CarPlay or Android Auto, as well as a video player, think of movies, and also the ability to use this for parking assist and potentially making phone calls. And on this video, I'm gonna walk you through these features and how it mounts to the vehicle. As always, I'd like to remind you that I place a link in the description down below to this system in case you'd like to get one for yourself. And for installation, there is double-sided tape in the bottom, so I can peel this back and then apply this to the vehicle. But what's pretty clever is that they made the base separate from the actual system, which allows us to remove it from the vehicle or reinstall it by turning it back into place. And for power, they have included this automotive adapter, which also has a spare USB port on the back. That way we can power both this system and something else. And here's what the main screen looks like. And you'll notice that there are shortcuts to the different main features of the unit, including the date and time, and shortcut to CarPlay and the instructions on how to connect to CarPlay, and same thing for Android Auto, the instructions on how to connect to Android Auto. And also, if you did not want to use CarPlay, they're giving you the choice to switch to AirPlay. And for Android Auto, if you did not want to use Android Auto, they're giving you the option to switch over to Android Cast. And we'll look at the Android Auto feature in a little bit. Right now I want to show these icons on this side right here. The first one right here allows us to adjust the brightness, and the second one is going to be very similar to the brightness adjustment in that it allows us to adjust the volume. And to select how you want the audio to come out from this unit, you will go to audio output, and here you can choose to use the built-in speakers, to use the Bluetooth CarPlay Android Auto capability, or to use the FM transmitter. This can actually transmit an FM radio antenna, a signal to your car in case your car did not have Bluetooth or did not have any other way of getting audio into it. And finally, it does also give you the option of connecting to your radio with an auxiliary cable, and the port for the auxiliary connector is located on the back of the system. And because the system supports Bluetooth, you could control your Bluetooth music through here. But what's pretty interesting is that it also supports a memory card, which is loaded on the back of the unit. And to access those files, you go to SD card storage, and you can see that it supports music, videos, and also photos. And I loaded a couple photos on here. Let's try to open one up. There's one of them, and let's go to the next one here. And also it does support zooming in. You can see on there that it actually looks pretty cool. Now, unfortunately, you can't really do much with the photos besides looking at them. It would be neat if you could set a photo as perhaps a background or a screensaver. And I loaded 2 music files on here. Let's try the first one. I'm gonna go ahead and hit play. So it does have a fairly good loud sound coming from this unit. I have not connected this to my vehicle. Let's try to find another part of the music, maybe somewhere about here. We'll bring up the volume. Well, now let's play back a video. I'm gonna go inside of the movie folders, and I have 2 files on here. This is actually a video of a prior review. In this video, we're gonna be taking a look at the Focuway T6 dual channel dash cam. This dash cam features a very small form factor, which is gonna be great for somebody who's looking for that dash cam that you can hide and tuck away high up in your windshield, out of sight, out of mind. I'm gonna show you what you And I think the video playback is pretty good. Now the next folder is for the rear camera, and that is because this system supports a reversing camera, and that is connected on the back of the unit. Obviously I do not have that system, that's why we don't get a signal, but it's nice to know that we could upgrade it if we wanted parking assist. Now let's take a look at the Android Auto capability. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that the Android Auto capability is wireless. The all Android Auto require a cable to be connected to the system, this is now fully wirelessly, and we have navigation just like on a new vehicle. And if you have used Android Auto or CarPlay, you're gonna be quite familiar. You got the icons to use it on the screen along with navigation, and here are the typical Android Auto apps that are supported by Android Auto. And you also have a floating dot right here. And what this little dot does, it allows you to have quick access to exit out of Android Auto, quick access to mute the audio, and also a quick access to turn off the screen in case you wanted to turn it off for some reason, and you can tap on the screen again and it resumes one more time. And because it does have a microphone, you can use it for phone calls or also for this. Call Toys R Us.
All right, calling Toys R Us.
Thank you for calling True Kids Brands, the proud parent of Toys R Us, Babies R Us, Jeffrey the Giraffe,
Which is pretty
and
cool.
OV07.
And under settings, first off, we get an equalizer. Now the equalizer has several presets over here: jazz, classic, pop, soft, rock, and then user, which is basically you being able to tweak and customize those settings. The next one is the display settings, and here's where you can further fine-tune the brightness, the contrast, the hue, and the saturation if you really wanted to tweak the screen. The next icon is basic setup, and here's where you can adjust the parking assist functionality, because remember, this system supports an optional backup camera, and I want to show you what you can do with it, and that is customize the reverse guidelines. Now this is extremely helpful because vehicles, different type of vehicles, are gonna require different adjustment of the parking assist guideline functionality, basically how you want those lines to be, and this system does allow us to customize those as needed. And under language, there are several languages to choose from, and I'll scroll through here so you can see what those are in case you wanted to change this from the default one. Now there is also a drop-down menu which you can access pretty much anytime, where you can again adjust your brightness, the volume, a shortcut to turning off the screen. What's pretty interesting is what I think is an Easter egg, because I did not see this on the documentation for this system, and I noticed that when I pushed a little hard on the screen, you can actually tilt the screen a few degrees, and this is going to be convenient, especially if you're trying to eliminate reflections or if you're really trying to get this perfectly set at a particular position. And while I have reviewed other systems in the past that can add Android Auto or CarPlay, I have to say that this is probably right now currently my favorite one because of its form factor. And yes, the price is very affordable, but to me the form factor is huge, because this being small and being a low profile, more of a widescreen, allows me to place it in tight locations or in places where normally one system with a larger screen may be a little bit cumbersome or maybe a little bit in the way of the windshield. And I was also surprised of how loud the internal speakers are in case you decide to use them as opposed to connect to your car stereo. Now on the listing, they make it look like it has two huge speakers, and actually it just has two smaller openings, but I think they provide a decent enough sound for those who just want to have that sound come out of here. Now they include a cigarette lighter adapter plug. I think it's going to be convenient for that ease of installation, but it'll be great if they can eventually release a hardwire kit for those that are looking to connect this to their vehicle permanently. And if you're curious about the rear camera add-on and how the cable would potentially be run to the back of the vehicle, I have already made a video where I show how I install a rear camera and how I run the cable. If you guys want to see that video, I'll put a link in the description down below. I'm also going to put a link in the description to this system in case you want to get one for yourself, and the optional backup camera. And if you guys have any other questions regarding this, please put that in the comments down below. If you found any part of this video helpful, make sure you hit the like button to support the channel, and stay tuned as I have a lot more reviews coming up. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.